We have an update on the story that we all discussed here at DBL yesterday, and a lot of you had an opinion on it. Well, 84-year-old Andrew Lester has been charged with shooting 16-year-old Ralph Yarl, who rang the wrong doorbell while trying to pick up his younger brothers last week. Lester was charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. Both are felonies. He allegedly shot the teen through his front glass door without saying anything to him, thinking he was trying to break in. Meantime, Ralph is out of the hospital after being shot in the head and the arm. He is back home again. Here's what his mom told CBS News.
Is Ralph able to communicate, Cleo, with you all with no problem? He can walk and talk and all that stuff?
He's able to communicate mostly when he feels like it, but mostly he just sits there and stares, and the buckets of tears just rolls down his eyes. You can see that he's just replaying the situation over and over again, and that just doesn't stop my tears either.
Yeah. Wow. Now the attorney prosecuting the case said there is, in fact, a racial component. However, he did not file hate crime charges because he said it was a lesser charge and he did not want to risk double jeopardy. So, Tori, does that make sense to you? Because everybody wants to see this racist man allegedly being charged with a hate crime.
Right.
Does it make sense?
I understand from a legal point of view, they don't want to charge him now in case more evidence builds and then they can't charge him later. But to me, it would have made a statement, and it would have made a large statement. I don't care if it's a lesser sentence. They don't have to even vote yay or nay on it. Just to have it be charged with a hate crime distinguishes what this was. It calls it what it was. The little boy or 16-year-old was black. That's the reason he felt he was in danger. Let's call it what it is.
But
so to me...
And I agree with you, and I think it is important to make a statement and let people know what this was, but I don't trust trying to go prosecute a case based on a feeling. Racism is a feeling, and it's hard to prove in court. It's harder to prove that I did something illegal to Erica than that I don't like Erica. Those are two very different things. And so when we're talking about a situation like this, Erica, I don't want to mess around with semantics. I'm going to go with the facts. The facts is an 84-year-old ghoul that apparently still dyes his hair was shot through the window at a boy that was lost. That's what we want to focus on. I don't want to focus on what he was thinking or
even
if he
though
has
the prosecutor
dementia or
says,
anything like that.
Even though they say there is a racial component, then when would you ever add a hate crime then?
Look, I'm not saying that we can't add that later. I'm not saying that we can't say it while we're sitting around the water cooler. I just don't want to take that risk of him walking, because when you talk about racism, Sam, now you're starting to say, well, you know, he had been watching a lot of news and he was off his medication and he was scared and feeling threatened. Again, hear all those words, scared, feeling. I don't want any of that. Let's look at the facts and prosecute him on what we can get him on. And I think that's the way to go. But I get what you're saying, and it is important what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think they're both interesting perspectives. My perspective is what this child's perspective was, seeing that face shoot at him. Like, that is the stuff that nightmares and scary movies are made out of. Like, this is never going to leave him. And just the idea, when we talk about these things happening, we talk about it as if it's an isolated incident. We don't talk about all of the pain and PTSD and the things that, like, every time this boy closes his eyes, he's got to see that man's face.
Right.
Like, that is terrifying.
Terrifying.
Too common in this country.
Too common in this country. To that point, Al, something similar happened on Saturday in upstate New York. 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis was killed while riding in a car. She and 3 others were looking for their friend's house when they accidentally pulled into the wrong driveway. That's when the 65-year-old homeowner, Kevin Monahan, allegedly fired at least 2 shots from his front porch at the car. Police say one of those bullets hit and killed Kaylin. He's been charged with second-degree murder. Jeff, that could have been any one of us as a teenager. It could be our kids in 10 years.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't know where this trigger happy, I think we always been trigger happy, but I don't understand either story. I don't understand. You just start open fire. I don't understand what's happening in this country. Is it because we got shut in because of the pandemic and now we think everything is a movie or a video game because we obsess on those things, and you don't think this is real life, that a bullet is going to kill someone? It's like, I don't understand. I really don't. I don't. I don't understand.
Well,
We're not even leaving our porch to shoot
And you're just
people
shooting
now,
someone that
Tori.
come in the driveway
Right.
or someone looking for their 2 young brothers? It's like, what is happening?
And you said it earlier too. You made a reference to Tombstone, whatever. And the first thing I thought of in the meeting was these shootings from the porch and shooting. It's very much Wild Wild West. It is a sense. Even though you were right, they have a moral code back in the Wild Wild West, and they would pace off. This is like ba-bang, ba-bang, ba-bang all over. And to be honest, the pandemic hit everybody. Why is this solely American?
Can I tell you why?
Please.
At least the research that I've recently dug into, and I don't want this to get political. I hate that I have to say that, but the NRA is very strategic in instilling fear into their base, into their gun owners. They're going to come and get you. This person's going to come and get you. This is what he's going to look like. It's crazy. They're already I took a whole tour of the convention. I watched videos, I watched stills over the last weekend. There's children, 10-year-olds pointing guns. They are grooming children to become the next generation of obsessed gun nuts. That's just what we're dealing with. I hate even speaking about it because I always want to reach across the aisle. I always want to look at things from both sides. But the NRA is holding all of us hostage. Republicans hostage, Democrats hostage, our children hostage. That's where we are. So when you have someone that may be disenfranchised or older, I'm not making any excuses, and they're continually being indoctrined, some people are going to act out. So I don't know. There's a lot of paranoia. There's a lot. It's just
The fear is being grown in.
Aren't the chances that if somebody pulls in their driveway that they know you? Isn't that like? And he still shot twice
From his porch?
I'm sorry. It just hit me. That's so weird.
I know.